Snowcloak and Double Team can destroy any run of Pokemon Platinum, and that's why I had to use Hoot Hoot to beat the 7 gym leader.
What? Alright, I'm hooked. I gotta know. Where is this going? What's happening? I've reacted to many Nuzlocks, but usually it's only the first Nuzlocke that I'm reacting to. So today we're gonna take a look at some of the highest level Nuzlocking on the planet as Freezai attempts to beat Pokemon Platinum using only little babies.
A hardcore Nuzlocke is the most popular way to challenge yourself in a Pokemon game, and I took it a step further by banning evolutions and single-stage Pokemon.
No single stage as well. Okay, no Heracross, no Pinsir, no Torkoals. Jeez.
The hardcore Nuzlocke is displayed on the screen and you can pause the video to read it in full. Additionally, I'm not using powerful unevolved Pokemon like Scyther, Tangela, Gligar, and Sneasel.
I like how he said powerful unevolved Pokemon like Gligar. Wait, he's also, these Pokemon can evolve. Oh my god. Oh my, he is really restricting himself. What is it, only like 400 base stat and below or something like that?
Would technically be legal by my rule set. They would make the game too easy.
He said that Gligar would make the game too easy. Candace is sitting there like, brother, what are you saying?
Pokemon Platinum is a surprisingly difficult game to little lock in. While it's true that you get access to powerful items like Choice Specs, the enemies are also a lot harder. In particular, boss fights and Elite Four members often have really good movesets. This is unlike Pokemon Emerald, where most Elite Four members start with a bad Pokemon. There's also generally fewer good Pokemon available, like Staryu and Voltorb, which are missing from the Sinnoh region.
Good Pokemon like Staryu and Voltorb. This man is on another plane of existence to all of us peasant Nuzlockers down looking up at him, I swear to god.
We picked Piplup as our starter Pokemon, but truthfully, Piplup is not very good.
Alright, I'm gonna have to say he probably picked Piplup because I would imagine the first gym's gonna be an absolute nightmare, but it really wouldn't be that bad. The later game is gonna be where things get really bad. I guess you could maybe use Turtwig with a little bit of leech seed action, but it's probably gonna get clapped in one shot anyway, so I have to know what he's thinking about here, because there is level caps in this. So it's not like you can just over level and go to level 100 and be totally fine. You have to go by the same level as the opponent, which is gonna make this absolutely ridiculous.
The reason we picked Piplup is to make late game rival fights easier. If we pick Piplup, then our rival has Turtwig, which becomes Torterra, which is straightforward to beat with any ice type move.
Ah, that makes sense,
In general,
okay.
most of my decisions are focused on the late game, where the pain of having unevolved Pokemon will be most felt.
I would imagine that the early game is going to be relatively simple, even though if it would be difficult. But when you get into Elite Four and Cynthia hoys out her Garchomp, it's going to be a little harder then, isn't it?
My Pokemon will always be much weaker and slower, and I have to take every advantage I can get. We get Bidoof and then Starly. The first rival fight is easy, and we sweep him with a rollout Bidoof. Ponyta is likely to be one of the most important Pokemon in the run.
Is it because you're not likely to get many fire types? Because that's what I'm thinking.
Now we're ready for the first gym leader, who is supposed to be easy. Most rock type gyms are traditionally simple because their point is to teach kids about type advantages and that you shouldn't just use tackle versus everything.
I've never realized that. Oh my god, that makes sense actually. Rock is the perfect Pokemon to teach about type advantages because 2 of the starters that you get are going to be super effective, so you're more inclined to hit the super effective button, and the other one is going to be weak, so you're like, oh, why can't you just use my starter to clap everybody's cheeks?
Cranidos has a high attack stat and can flinch with headbutt. Most regular strategies have to risk a high-powered critical hit or a flinch. To beat Rourke while playing around the crit and flinch, we have to use a technique known as edging. And no,
edging? Oh, I know all about edging. I've never used it in Pokemon, but it's a pretty big mainstay in my normal life.
It's not that edging.
Oh, sorry, it's not that edging. Sorry, Freezai.
We are level 14 at the start of the battle, but we've gained enough EXP beforehand to time it so that we level up after beating Geodude. We learn Magnitude just in time for Cranidos to come in.
Good strats there.
Magnitude Geodude can beat the Cranidos one-on-one, and we get the toughest first gym badge ever.
Magnitude 6 clapped him.
Drifloon, whose ability is unfortunately not unburdened.
Well, you can still use Aftermath. I could definitely see that coming in handy. It does about 1/8 health after you die, so if you really need to sack something, you're gonna use Aftermath because it could end up actually killing something that would otherwise sweep you.
Then we get Shellos in Route 205, but we delay the Eterna Forest encounter by using Repel. By delaying the encounter in the forest, I can get 2 Pokemon instead of potentially only 1. Eterna Forest Pokemon and Ghastly instead of Ghastly and nothing.
Oh, alright, I see what you mean by that. There's a lot of strategy that's going into this, which I really appreciate. I love hearing about all the little things that come together to form the full run. I think that's fantastic.
Time for the most important Pokemon in the run.
Oh, okay, the most important Pokemon in the run, the Metatite.
Bronzor.
Bronzor, right, no, of course.
Bronzor is an incredible Pokemon and an Elite Four Pokemon, and I want it as soon as I can.
Okay, I mean, it's got a very good typing, especially in this generation where Dark type isn't going to slap your cheeks, where Ghost type isn't going to slap your cheeks because Steel is still very, very, very buffed. So I can see it being a pretty big thing.
It's ultimately down to luck if I can get it in the early game. We first search for Bronzor in Route 211, where we can use a strategy called Repel Manipulation to increase the odds of getting a Bronzor. By repelling with the level 16 Pokemon, we can guarantee to never get a Pokemon lower than level 16.
He got Chingling. No, he got the Chingling. That's the worst thing that you could get. No one has ever used Chingling before in their lives.
Fortunately, in the next place we search, Mount Coronet, we are lucky enough to get the coveted Bronzor, and we don't have to delay getting it until after Iron Island.
By the way, if you're wondering why this works and why he's not just like, oh, I got another Geodude, it's because of Dupe's Claws. I mean, most people know Dupe's Claws, but it basically means that if you already caught a Pokemon, then you don't have to get another one.
Now we're up against Gardenia. If things go horribly unlucky, we are prepared with Pluck Zubat as a backup plan. It matches up well against grass types and can eat Roserade Citrus Berry. In the end though, we have pretty neutral luck and Ponyta cleans up the second gym leader.
Hey, Ponyta went ham on that!
On Bidoof and head to the old chateau to catch Ghastly. Ghastly can knock itself out with Curse, so I have to use Taunt first. Then, with Ghastly caught, we backtrack to Eterna Forest and catch Baniri with a Repel Manipulation strategy.
Baniri? Why do you want a Baniri though? It sucks.
But at this moment, we have the first challenging fight. Jupiter and her Skuntank.
Why does this Zubat have Giga Drain? Of all things, who told the developers this Zubat, it needs to suck, and it needs to suck hard?
Skuntank is every Nuzlocker's worst nightmare. First we go to Drifloon and sacrifice it for aftermath damage.
There it is!
Then we go to Ponyta and use Tail Whip because we outspeed and will never die to a night/critical hit. The reason I have to Tail Whip is because if I damage it directly, it would trigger its Citrus Bear. Then I sacrifice Chingling.
Bye, Chingling! No one is ever gonna use you again, buddy, sorry.
With the support of Stealth Rock, Aftermath, and Tail Whip, Baniri is able to knock out Skuntank and we defeat Jupiter.
With frustration as well. See, this is when Nuzlocks take a turn. In order for frustration to be high power, you need to make your Pokemon hate you. Ironic considering Nuzlocks are originally made to get you to like your Pokemon more and form bonds with them. Now you just slap them around until they hate you and they can one-shot things.
Geodude is a potential Elite Four Pokemon, so I would gladly sacrifice 2 Pokemon instead of risking it versus Skuntank.
Geodude's an Elite Four Pokemon?
Now we have Fantina, and it's the first time we're gonna have to play some games with the AI. The AI in Generation 4 is complicated, to say the least.
Can I predict what he's gonna do here? I think he's gonna use Thief to try and steal the Citrus Berry from Miss Magius, considering it's super effective and it'll heal him up as he goes as well.
Miss Magius can destroy most of my Pokemon without even thinking about it. My strategy is to create a situation where Miss Magius comes in on a Ghastly who has a substitute. Then I can use Curse to stall it out.
Okay.
But how do you give Ghastly a substitute when it's fighting a Ghost-type team? I use Ponyta to beat the lead Duskull, but I have to be very careful in how I do it. 2 Flame Wheels would knock out Duskull, but instead I use Tail Whip twice and then knock it out with 1 Flame Wheel.
Right.
This is because if I Flame Wheeled 1 time and accidentally burnt the Duskull, that changes the AI's understanding of the game. If Ponyta knocks out a burnt Duskull, Miss Magius would come in now instead of Haunter.
What? Oh my god, this game is broken. Dude, computers are dumb, coding is ridiculous, toss it all out the window, start again.
I switch between Abra and Baniri to PP stall Haunter out of Shadow Claw. Then I sacrifice Wurmple to get a free switch to Lumberry Ghastly.
No,
I had to sacrifice a
Wurmple!
Pokemon because there's a chance Haunter can use Confuse Ray as I switch in, and then Confuse Ray again after the first Confuse Ray uses up the Lum. Because Wurmple didn't get unlucky, I was able to string shot Haunter before fainting and I don't even need the Lumberry. I switch between Baniri and Bronzor to stall out the Miss Magius for our 3rd gym battle.
Masterfully done, mate. Masterfully done.
Then we catch a Duskull in Lost Tower, and now we can catch a Hoothoot in the night of Route 210, but I was lazy and decided to do it later. I then missed a Lickitung catch because I accidentally ran out of Pokeballs, but I don't really care too much.
No, not Lickitung. Who's gonna be the comic relief / sexual harasser on the team now?
We get the Porygon in Veilstone City, but more importantly, we get an incredibly important item, the Sticky Barb. Something that you don't usually see too often, but will become an important part of our strategies going forward.
Oh, that's gonna be fantastic with Trick, isn't it?
In Route 214, we use Taunt Bidoof to catch Roar Houndour, and we now head to Maylene's Fighting-type gym, which has a very threatening Pokemon, Lucario. We knock out Meditite with Shadow Ball, and we use the edging technique to level up mid-battle.
God, we love edging.
By doing this, we now have exactly enough speed to outspeed Machoke, even if it drops our speed with Rock Tomb.
Nice,
Next
good
is
calculations
Lucario,
there.
and we have to use a Sticky Barb strategy for the first time.
I imagine that he must do some kind of damage calcs, and he must look at the IVs and the EVs. He must be EV trading in this, because there's no way that he'd know exactly how much speed is required to outspeed after a Rock Tomb, unless he was still doing the EV trading and also like looking at the IVs.
We pivoted in Bronzor on Metal Claw, and then Sticky Barb Zubat on Force Palm.
Uh-oh, here we go.
The
Here we
way
go. Here
Sticky
comes. Here
Barb
comes.
works is that it causes damage per turn to the holder of the item.
Right.
However, if a Pokemon without a held item, in this case Lucario, makes a contact move with the Sticky Barb holder,
Oh, that's
the
right,
Sticky
of
Barb
course.
moves over to them, causing damage every turn to them.
So you can switch stall.
Slowly but surely,
Smart.
we can stall Lucario out of HP. But the challenge isn't you.
Why is it that Maylene can't figure out that you're switching every turn?
It's been 57 turns and he's switched every turn, but I think he's just trying to trick me.
There's no way you're gonna switch this time. Medical! Fuck!
When you give a Sticky Barb to an opponent and the battle ends, that item is gone forever. Sticky Barb is a good strategy and we want to use it later in the run too, so we need to get it back. We continue stalling, but once Lucario gets low enough in health, we go to 1 HP Magikarp to sacrifice it. But more importantly, we get the Sticky Barb back because we made a contact.
Ooh, that was close there. I mean, there was no guarantee that he was gonna kill. I mean, there's probably a guarantee, but still, like that, he looked like he had enough health there to where you could have lived that.
Not bad, and we get the 4th gym badge.
Ghastly's evolving? No, he ain't.
I skip around a little for encounters and get Buizel in Route 212, Wingull in Route 213, and Wooper in the Great Marsh.
Yes!
Luckily-
Hey, I thought you said that you weren't using Pokemon that would make the game too easy to complete, and you just call Wooper. I don't understand. You say you're doing a little lock, but then you use the God of Pokemon? That's kind of weird, dude.
Next up is Crasher Wake and his Water-type gym. Floatzel is a major threat because it's fast and can 2-hit KO most of my team. I use a TM to teach Ghastly Thunderbolt, and I 1-hit KO the lead Gyarados.
Damn, Ghastly just clapped that Gyarados' cheeks. He must be very upset. That Gyarados' pride and ego is annihilated.
Floatzel comes in next, and I have to sacrifice a Pokemon and I lose Piplup.
Goodbye, Piplup!
Piplup's most useful moment lets me bring in Bronzor, who never faints to a critical hit from Floatzel.
Never.
I use Trick Room and then switch out to sacrifice Wingull.
Valid. Wingull sucks. L.
Ghastly comes back, and with support from Trick Room, it's able to outspeed and 1-hit KO the Floatzel with Thunderbolt.
Nice! Oh my god, this Ghastly is going hog wild on this thing right now.
Similar to Trick Room, Choice Specs is a great way of leveling the playing field against Pokemon that are much stronger than ours. Celestic Town Cyrus is handled with Trick Room strategies, and Lumberry Bronzor can set up a Trick Room with its high natural bulk. Machop beats Sneasel, and Geodude beats Golbat and Murkrow for an easy boss fight.
Good
We now
job,
have
Arigato.
Surf 2 and get Tentacool in Route 219 and Magnemite in the Fugo Ironwork. The Canalave rival fight is easy because the rival hasn't taught his Pokemon good moves yet.
The rival battle is easy because the rival sucks and is a bad trainer.
Double Team Staraptor because it doesn't have close combat yet, and Ponyta beats Torterra because it doesn't have Earthquake yet.
Oh my, it doesn't have Earthquake. It's supposed to learn it when it evolves. What is wrong with Barry?
Heracross is the last Pokemon, and it outspeeds the entire team. We use the Sticky Barb strategy again and switch between Duskull and Onix.
How are you gonna get it back this time?
We use Shadow Sneak Duskull to regain the Sticky Barb before it gets lost forever, and
Priority.
we easily win the battle.
Oh, that's perfectly calculated. I can't imagine. What if you were in the situation where Shadow Sneak wouldn't actually kill? I suppose you just sack off the Duskull at that point, wouldn't you?
Up next is a Canalave Gym, who's pretty easy too. Choice Specs Flamethrower Ponyta knocks out Magneton and Steelix in one shot, and Bastiodon is merely annoying.
I can't believe how much work this Ponyta is doing.
Bastiodon is well known for ending Nuzlocke because you think you can KO it, but all you do is end up just getting hit by a Metal Burst instead. Once Metal Burst is out of PP, we spam Earthquake with Geodude and we get our 6th gym badge. There's some Team Galactic stuff before the 7th gym that we have to deal with, and we use Trick Room strategies versus Saturn and beat Golbat with Magnemite and Toxicroak with Psychic Ghastly. Similarly, Mars is no big deal, and we use Lumberry Pokemon to protect against Hypnosis Purugly. We catch a Snover, and then before the Ice-type gym, we head back to catch Hoot Hoot, who will be an important part of the strategy for the gym.
I am so excited to see how this Hoot Hoot works. He said that right at the beginning of the video, he said you have to use Hoot Hoot for the 7th gym, and I just, what?
In the 7th gym, I
Okay.
lead with Magnemite who beats Sneasel. I couldn't lead with Houndour because it would die to a critical hit Slash. Piloswine comes in next and I have to sacrifice Psyduck.
No!
That gives me a
Well,
chance
actually,
to
it's
go
fine.
to Choice Specs Houndour.
Nice.
Houndour easily 1-hit KOs both Piloswine and Abomasnow before bringing in Frostlass.
Nice, good job.
It has Snow Cloak, which can dodge attacks and can one-hit KO me with a critical hit Blizzard. Instead, I sacrifice Starly as it gets up some double team. Then, I go to Bronzor and use Trick Room. Frostlass will never use Blizzard to KO me here. Even if Shadow Ball gets a critical hit, because I have Citrus Berry, I'll never be in range of dying to Blizzard, so the AI will never want to use it.
Here it comes. The Hoot Hoot versus the Frostlass. What's it gonna do? Any predictors? Let me know in the comment section below. What do you think is gonna happen here? I can't even imagine. Maybe hypnosis strats? Maybe it dies and it changes the way that the AI works. Maybe for some reason you can use like, I don't know, Toxic or something to whittle it down. Sticky Bob maybe comes into play here. I have no idea.
I switch in Hoot Hoot without getting hit by Blizzard and use Foresight before fainting.
Ooh, okay.
The way Foresight works is that it negates all evasion like Snow Cloak and
It negates evasion? I thought Foresight just made it available to ghost types available to be hit by any other move. I didn't know that it disables evasion.
double team even after the user faints.
Oh, that's
Houndour
great.
comes back in and
It's basically lock on, but like the other way around. I guess it works for all the Pokemon. That's so cool. I had no idea how that works like that way.
And Foresight, it knocks out the Frostlass for a 7th gym badge. There
That's
are
awesome.
a lot of Team Galactic fights in the Spear Pillar arc, but most of them are not particularly difficult. The only tough fight is the last fight in the Distortion world, where Cyrus comes through with a team of powerful, fully evolved Pokemon. The lead Houndoom is threatening, so I lead with a pre-damaged Houndour. That way
Pre-damaged?
Houndoom will always use Thunderfang because it thinks it can one-hit KO me.
Oh, okay.
I switched to Sticky
Sticky
Barb
Bob?
Magnemite
Sticky
to give
Bob,
Houndoom
yep.
the Sticky Barb.
Nice.
I
Nice.
stall out a
Good
few
switch.
turns and then sacrifice my own Houndour. Now,
No, the Houndour does so much for
there's
you.
enough damage for Buizel to come in with Aqua Jet and KO and get the Sticky
Wow, that was a big range. Weasel is unironically stronger than I imagined it to be.
Barb back. Gyarados comes in next and will try to knock out Buizel with either Earthquake or Giga Impact.
You got T-Ball.
That means
Easy,
I have a
easy kill.
switch into Ghastly. Ghastly outspeeds and one-hit KOs with Choice Specs Thunderbolt. Weavile comes in next and I sacrifice my Buizel.
Ooh, there he goes.
Weasel can't take that Sticky Barb because it has a Citrus Berry. I go to Bronzor and use Trick Room, and Bronzor will never feint to even a critical hit Night Slash. Weavile will Night Slash again and I go to Machop. With Trick Room,
I wonder if you would have died to 2 crit Night Slashes there, because that's technically possible. That could happen with a high critical rate hit ratio. It looks like, okay, so it did 42 points of damage, so 42 plus times 2 in 4th gen crits is 82 points of damage. Yeah, he would have died to 2 crits there. Imagine dying there after all that work to 2 crits. What a nightmare that would be.
Crobat, the last Pokemon, comes in, but No Guard makes the
Oh, but he has a Trick Room up, so he can't lose. Never mind. Oh my god. He literally couldn't lose. Like, just saying this all up in a way where it's impossible to lose. This is so... I love this, man. This is so cool.
With the damage from Rock Climb and the support of Trick Room, Choice Specs Ghastly is able to KO the Crobat and we beat the strongest boss fight of the game.
Damn, Trick Room is
Then we
awesome.
use Smoke Ball Ghastly to run away from this weird Pokemon that I don't know too much about.
Hey, I don't want Satan. What are you talking about? Sorry, is Satan small? Weak? Does it have low self-esteem? No? Well, I don't want it on my team.
We now have the 8th gym badge, who is probably the easiest gym fight of them all.
What?
We
Really?
lead with Yawn Wooper and switch to Bronzor as Jolteon falls asleep. Bronzor sets up Stealth Rock and then sets up Trick Room. Geodude is a free switch into Jolteon, and with Trick Room,
There's no way that Earthquake one-shots everything on his team. I don't believe you.
Soft Sand, and Stealth Rock, Geodude cleans up the gym with Earthquake, giving us our 8th and final gym badge.
Oh my god, I have been underrating Geodude. I know Onix couldn't do that because it has base 45 attacks. That lower than Oddish.
Finally, we can catch Mantike, a powerful water-type Pokemon
Yes!
and a
Finally!
definite elite
God, finally a Pokemon to actually use the Master Ball on. Yes! Mantike!
4 member.
Wait, that Mantike's an Elite 4 member? What? You're kidding. You're kidding, right?
Also, we have the first tough rival fight. His Pokemon are now fully evolved and have good moveset. We lead with Ghastly to outspeed and KO Staraptor.
Barry did a quick Google search, how to be a good Pokemon trainer, and saw that, oh, I have to teach them moves? Oh, dude.
Torterra comes in next and I sacrifice Badiou. This lets me go to Snover, who beats Torterra with its ice typing. I sacrifice Snover to Heracross and then bring in Ghastly.
So many sacrifices.
Ghastly knocks out Heracross and that brings in Floatzel.
I think the Elite Four is going to be really interesting because you can't just like make sacrifices willy-nilly like that in the Elite Four, considering you can't go back to the PC. So he's going to have to play the first 4 pretty much flawlessly and probably get pretty lucky as well.
However, my Ghastly is pre-damaged. The AI
Pre-damaged.
prefers to use priority moves if it can. Because I'm at a low enough health for Aqua Jet to KO me, Floatzel will always use it.
Ooh.
This gives me
okay.
a free switch into Water Absorb Wooper.
Nice.
Wooper can use Yawn and then beat Floatzel one-on-one. If Wooper got crit, it's not a big deal because a sleeping Floatzel is very easy to beat. Snorlax comes in and I sacrifice Wooper before...
No! Oh, what a shame. What an absolute crying shame. I was hoping he'd make it to the end. I was hoping he'd make it to Elite Four, to be honest.
Eevee has Protect Last Resort, and that does just enough damage to Snorlax before fainting. Ponyta finishes off the Snorlax, and all that's left is the rival's Rapidash. However, the
I'm here to destroy you, father!
Rapidash's fire moves are blocked by Flash Fire, and I have Protect to stop Bounce.
Oh, nice.
I can slowly chip down the Rapidash until it faints because there's no way it can touch me.
This is an incredible amount of planning. Like, I just remember the amount of planning that I did when I was playing like Renegade Platinum and other really hard ROM hacks like that. I can't even imagine what went into making this happen.
Now, finally, we are ready for the Elite Four.
It's so nice to see it all come together so freshly.
Ponyta knocks out the first 4 Pokemon and brings out the only threat, Drapion.
Okay, Drapion is going to be a little bit of an issue. What do we got in the Elite Four? We have 2 Ponytas. Wait, what? We have 2 Ponytas? In the Elite Four? What's going on here? That's weird. We have a Mantike, a Geodude, a Baniri. Am I going to swallow the words of me saying Baniri sucks? I mean, Ghastly makes sense. I get that one.
I switched to Bronzor, and then this time
Oh, Bronzor. There's not 2 Ponytas. Okay.
I used Trick Sticky Barb because Drapion has a Citrus Berry.
Okay.
I slowly whittle it down and then finally switch to Baniri before Drapion faints.
Doesn't that
Drapion
crits?
doesn't have Sniper, which means Baniri always lives a critical hit.
Nice.
Baniri finishes off Drapion with a quick attack, letting us beat the first Elite Four member and also letting us get the Sticky Barb back.
So well freaking thought out.
Next up is Bertha and her ground type. We
Giga
lead
Drain,
with
nice.
Choice Specs Giga Drain Ghastly to one-hit KO the Wishcat. This
I mean, you could 1K KO pretty much everything on the team with that, apart from
brings
Gliscor.
in Hippowdon, who will try to use Crunch. We switch to Bronzor and give Hippowdon the Sticky Barb. We stall it out, but we time our switch to Mantike right before the Hippowdon is going to use Full Restore.
Why does Hippowdon not have a rock type move? That doesn't make any sense.
With Surf and Ice Beam, we run through the rest of the team to beat the second Elite Four member.
Damn, Mantike,
We finally
okay.
have to part ways with Sticky Barb, but we don't need it anymore.
Oh, goodbye, Sticky Bob. We will never forget you. I appreciate this Sticky Bob more than I have any Pokemon in my own Nuzlocks. This thing has been so helpful throughout the entire run. We will miss you.
Next is the Fire-type Elite Four member, and ideally, I would use the same Rain Dance strategy. However, Flint leads with a very dangerous Houndoom. Houndoom is faster than Mantike and can Dark Pulse flinch me. If Houndoom flinches me, the run is over. I need a way
no.
to paralyze Houndoom first.
Okay.
Unfortunately, there is a Thunder Wave TM, but it's only available in the post-game.
What? Thunder Wave is only available in the post game for some reason? That's completely ludicrous.
That's why I did some secret preparations before heading to the Elite Four.
Oh, okay.
There's a 5% chance for Wild Pikachu to hold a Light Ball. I can
Right.
get that Light Ball using Thief.
Uh-huh.
I lead with Baniri, who does outspeed Houndoom. Then, I use the move Fling, which flings the held item of the Pokemon at the opponent.
You're flinging the light ball at the Houndoom? Does it have an additional effect?
Baniri is holding the Light Ball, and a
Wait, does it paralyze with Fling?
flung Light Ball has a very convenient secondary effect.
Goodbye, Baniri. You actually came in
sets
handy.
up a Rain Dance and nothing can stop it. It cleans up every Pokemon except the last one, Rapidash.
Wait, a Rain Dancer from a Mantike actually one-shots Magmortar?
Similar to the rival's Rapidash, it is completely walled by Ponyta, and we beat the third Elite Four member.
Imagine being completely walled by the baby version of yourself. How embarrassing. Freesai is going through the Sinnoh region and just destroying the egos of every single person.
Versus Lucian, the Psychic-type Elite Four member, I lead with Dreadplate Geodude. Geodude is actually strong enough to one-hit KO the Mr. Mime with Sucker Punch, as Mr. Mime goes for the KO with Psychic. We bring Psychic, Imprison Bronzor. Imprison blocks the opponent from using a move if we also have that move. In this case, Bronzong Psychic gets blocked. Before the fight, we use the Light Screen TM on Bronzor, that way Bronzor has a high PP move to waste time with. Eventually, Bronzong starts to use Struggle, and we have to time our next strategy perfectly.
Okay,
We
let's
have
hear
to
it.
time using Trick Room such that we switch in Ghastly in on Bronzong as it feints to struggle, and there should be exactly 2 turns of Trick Room left.
Okay, you have Trick Room, you have a light screen, you are Specs, so this is probably gonna one-shot too.
With Choice Specs, Shadow Ball, and Trick Room, Ghastly can outspeed and one-hit KO Alakazam and Espeon.
It kills Alakazam in
Now,
one hit,
Trick
that's so
Room
funny.
runs out as he goes to Gallade.
Uh-oh.
But Ghastly actually outspeeds Gallade normally.
That's insane. Gallade is stupidly slow. I have no idea why it is. It looks like it should have at least base 100 speed, but for some reason it's low. It's like 80. It's ridiculously low.
We're now ready for the champion. Versus Cynthia,
Here we go.
I started with a Choice Specs Mantike.
No way. Choice Specs Mantike is running a train on Spiritomb. This thing is bulky. How is it doing that?
Mantike can 2-hit KO Spiritomb and doesn't risk a crit itself because it has a naturally high special defense.
That's incredible.
After Spiritomb faints, it brings in Togekiss with Shockwave.
All right, what's the strategy for the Garchomp? What are we thinking? I'm thinking, if I look at the team, Baniri is already dead. Pony's just going to get absolutely railed. Ghastly is absolutely going to come in handy. And Bronzor as well. It's got to be one of those two.
I use this as a chance to switch into Bronzor. This baits an Aura Sphere and I go to Ghastly. I use Curse and let Ghastly faint.
Oh, that's unfortunate. How are you going to beat the freaking Garchomp then? It's got to be Bronzor.
I switch around with Mantike and Geodude and go to Bronzor as they go for a full restore. I stall out a turn with Protect and then use Lumberry.
Ooh, he gets hit with a crit there, but he has rest now, so it's okay.
Just in case I get critical hit, which does end up happening. Now I time my Trick Room just as Togekiss dies, which baits in Flamethrower Garchomp. This gives me a free switch into my Choice Specs Mantike.
Here it comes. Oh, he gets buns. Nasty.
Mantike 1-hit KOs the Garchomp with Choice Specs Ice Beam in.
Oh my god, that's so embarrassing. Cynthia, you have to quit. You can never battle Pokemon ever again. After this, no one can think that Cynthia is the absolute GOAT. You just got one-tapped. Your ace got embarrassed by a Mantike.
This baits in Lucario, who will either use Stone Edge or Extreme Speed. Either way, it lets me go to Geodude. Geodude with Soft Sand outspeeds because of Trick Room and 1-hit KOs the Lucario.
Oh god, can I just say before we get to the end here, I think he's gonna do it. I actually think he's gonna win this. I genuinely do. This is one of the best Nuzlocks I've ever reacted to. This is from frame one, from going from like reacting to people that don't really understand Pokemon all that well, which I love watching that stuff because I think it's super entertaining, it's super fun, it's super cool. To this is just, I'm just been mind blown the entire time. This is fantastic. Please subscribe to Freeze-Eye.
Roserade comes in now, and I sacrifice Ponyta to the
Ooh, Ponyta goes down. How many Pokemon does he have left? Like 2?
fast and strong Roserade. After the death of Ponyta, I go to Bronzor and use Trick Room. Then I use Psychic to get a little bit of damage on Roserade.
Yeah, not much.
I
Jesus
sacrifice
Christ.
Mantike. If Bronzor had gotten crit versus Roserade, it wouldn't have made a big difference. I would just sacrifice Bronzor instead of Mantike. Geodude comes in next, and with the earlier damage from Psychic, Geodude can KO the Roserade with Earthquake.
Geodude is insane.
My Lotus is the last Pokemon, and
no way. You did with a no.
Trick Room, we use Explosion for one final attack to 1-hit KO the Milotic.
Oh my god, a Geodude just 1-hit KO a Milotic on a Champions team. This is so freaking cool. I love this. This is awesome.
One Pokemon left.
Wow.
Bronzor, who carried the entire run.
Perfectly calculated to win with one left. Freeze-Eye, I gotta give you a round of applause. This is getting the Patterrz seal of approval for good content. That was absolutely amazing. Please subscribe to Freeze-Eye. And also, if you haven't already, subscribe to this channel as well if you like the reaction. You want to see me do more? Then just give me a suggestion in the comments section right now. What should I check out next? Anyway, thanks. Bye.